walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hi, I'm Woodglue, and this is the Pacific Crest Trail. This is mile 486, and this is where PCT crosses the Lake Hughes Rd. I'm starting here at this hike, and it's about 4:15 p.m. This is day number 1, and Lake Hughes Rd, this is where I ended a previous hike with my sister Goblin, probably I don't know, about a year ago or so. I'll post the link up here for that video, but all in all, a pretty good area here. We have had a unbelievable amount of rain and snow in the last several weeks. Last night in the area where I live, we got snow in places that I had never seen it. Cool little water cache that somebody left here. Pretty neat to see that. But we got snow in places I had never seen it, and so this is definitely going to be a trip on the cold side. The month is February, and we're expecting highs to be in the upper 30s, and then lows to be in the lower 30s. Tonight is just a short 4 miles to get up to mile 490. This is where I'll be camped, and then we're gonna end this hike. We're gonna try to end this hike all the way to mile 535. And so this is a 49-mile jaunt over the span of about 49 hours. I plan to be at mile 535 at 5 p.m. on Sunday. So it'll be interesting for sure. Each trip I'm getting bigger miles each day and bigger miles at the end of each hike, and I know that this will be a record if I'm able to do it. So we've got, I think it's 21 miles planned for tomorrow, going from camp at 490 to camp at 511, where we will be camped on the San Andreas Fault. So, and then on Sunday, be from 511 to 535, so that's 24 miles. So we'll see. I'm not sure if I can do it. I've kind of got the bow out plan put together. Walk back to the car, or if I need to, just stop short of mile 535 and end at 517 or 525 or somewhere in there. So a couple plan B's here, but gonna stick to the goal as much as I can, and that's just to be at 535 on Sunday. This will be a good one. Hang in there with me. There's a big climb coming up to mile 490. I've already gone about 600 feet up in the span of that, just over a mile, and our first snow is back there. So it's cold enough on the north side of this mountain anyway to keep the snow here. I'm not sure when it snowed here last. I'm gonna guess probably 3-4 days ago. I was watching the forecast all week, and so big climb up to camp at 490. You can see a fire's gone through here at some point. It's looks to be quite a while ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. Got lots of bushes growing in already around these trees. The trees are definitely dead. You can see the trail coming up right there, but then looks like there was a mudslide right here. This whole area has fallen. Tree in the middle of the trail. But the trail used to be right here, and now it's gone. Probably about 4,000 feet right here. So it's going to be really hard to see, but I made it to mile 490. And this is the Boy Scout camp, trail camp it's called. There's some snow on the ground, but not too bad. It's uphill that way. And looking over here, it's downhill that way. So this won't be a cold sink. Good spot to put a tent. The ground's a little soft, but it's nice and flat, sheltered by some fallen trees on both sides of me. Should be a pretty good place to knock out for the night. So I got the tent all set up, and I've got my my down quilt all strapped down to the sleeping pad, and I'm just wearing long johns and wool socks, and I'm wearing merino wool long sleeve shirt, and I've got a long sleeve t-shirt over that, and then I'm gonna sleep with my puffy jacket on too and my beanie. So I think I'll be okay. It's probably already below freezing. I noticed coming into camp here, I'm stepping on ice that was pretty brand new, hopes it's going to get pretty chilly tonight. I would guess maybe into the upper 20s. All in all, pretty steep climb getting up into here. 1,500 feet total. Took 2 hours, and it's 4 miles almost exactly. So I got here at 6:15. The plan for tomorrow is to break camp as early as possible, and then I'm going to do my 21 miles down to 511, and we'll see how that goes. It's a clear night tonight. In the forecast there's not supposed to be any rain. There's a little bit of a breeze here, which hopefully that helps knock down some of the condensation in the tent. And it's gonna be fun. It's probably not even 7 o'clock right now, but get some good sleep, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. It was a really cold night last night. It's about 7 o'clock right now, and I'm headed out of camp, mainly because my toes are freezing. So I kind of skip breakfast for now, and we'll get on up the trail and warm up a little bit, and then I'll get my breakfast. But the ground is super frozen, and there's ice, snow. Probably got down into the upper 20s last night. Today's gonna be a big one. 21 miles. And 7 o'clock, if I do 2 miles per hour, that's 10.5 hours. and then it'll be 5 p.m. I'll be to camp, something like that. Slowly but surely, see how we make do here. There is a guy named Jason St. Clair, and he's really helped me out a lot with this hike. I saw on YouTube that he hikes a lot in this area, and I had a bunch of questions for him. It was bothering the heck out of him, but he was a huge help. You know, one of the things he was saying was, even though there's snow up here, probably wouldn't need crampons. He didn't say that, but I made that conclusion from what he said. He said that the trail isn't too steep or, you know, drop off cliffs or anything like that. So I decided to leave my 1-pound micro spikes at home. And he's got a YouTube channel. You should check it out. I'll put a link down below in the description. And he's going to be hiking. He's going to be through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, starting, I think, March 26th. I might be wrong on that. So it'll be fun to watch him. I'm slowly walking downward. There's a lot of snow on the north faces. If the sun shines on the trail, there's no snow at all. But most of this area right here seems to be walking along the north face, headed kind of westerly. I've been following a guy's tracks all the way until just now, pretty much all the way from the car. I saw him at where I parked. He came out with his dog, and his tracks and his dog's tracks have been all over the trail right here. And he must have turned around right back there. So now all I have are the rabbit tracks and deer tracks. The snow on these north faces is probably 4 to 6 inches deep, and I have non-waterproof Merrell Moab hiking boots, so they get wet pretty easily, and then my socks get wet. So I stopped, and got a little trick I learned a long time ago. Just have some plastic grocery bags, put my feet into those, and then I put my foot in the boot, so my socks are on my foot, and then the bag, then the boot, and helps keep my socks dry. It's a little slippery inside my boot. I'll just keep it in there as long as I'm in the snow. Boy, the snow's getting deep, man. I'm at probably mile 4 or 94, something like that. And it's about a foot deep here on the north face. And then at 493, I was back there, and the trail opened up into this big, wide open field. And there's some campsites there and stuff like that, but I ended up losing the trail. And I've got an app on my phone. I think I'm on the trail and I'm walking along, and it looks more like a road. And then I hear some people, luckily. I yell out, hey, is this the PCT? And they said, yeah. Okay, so they were way up the hill from me. And I had to backtrack a little bit and get back on the trail. So it's tough to find the trail. It was covered in snow. These are the tracks of the people that I was talking to. They were coming opposite direction of me. I stopped here in the sunshine to change my socks. My shoes are soaking wet, so I'm gonna put new socks on and dry my feet out a little bit. Oh, the snow's ridiculous, man. That face behind me, that's a north face, and I traveled probably 1.5 miles along that. The snow is normally about 1 foot deep over there, but then there's drift areas where it's 2 feet deep, and then you get into the canyons, like where there's a switchback, where there's a creek, and it's 3 feet deep right there. It's a lot of work, and truth be known, I'm kind of kicking around the idea of bowing out of this trip. It's already too late for me to make it all the way to Camp 511 from here. Been moving too slow in the snow, and I don't know. I've got a couple of ideas going on. You know, one of them is to spend the night out here and then try to make it to like 517. That's hiker town. Make it up there and arrange for my ride to pick me up there. But another one is to hit one of the roads here and either hunker down or get out, because it's probably gonna be a long ways before I get out of the snow. Look at this. Probably 10 miles at best before I can get out of the snow to put a tent down somewhere. I think I could do 10 miles today, still 10 more miles, but not really sure. About every third step is a post hole, so it's a lot of work, man.
spirits are pretty low and 2 video files have been corrupted, so here's the story. Throughout the area of mile 493 to 495, I'm moving pretty slow through the deep snow, and as I approach mile 496, I can hear some trucks driving up the canyon below me. To continue from 496, which is at 5,200 feet, I'll have to be climbing up to 5,700 feet, which is at mile 506.5. So there's at least 10 more miles of potentially worse snow than I've already been walking through. So I decided to see if one of these trucks could get me out of here. There were several Jeeps driving by me at mile 496.2. As I sat there, I waved at all of them, and finally a couple of them stopped. I walked up to one of them and said, "Can you get me out of here?" with a smile, and they pointed down the road that they just came up and told me it was only 3 miles walk down to the highway. With spirits up now, I took off walking down that road.
I just ran into a couple cool guys walking down this road to get out to civilization on the bow out route here. And Steve and John, and they talk good story. Really cool to see them. I mean, out of the blue, walking down a dirt jeeping road here, and then come across 2 hikers, full-on backpacks and trekking poles and everything. They said, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "What are you doing here?" The weirdest place to have a backpacker, and here's 3 of us standing there. Good fun. It was good to meet you guys. So I gotta tell you, my very first time hitchhiking ever. I've never ever done it, and I was able to score a ride from the end of that road that comes down off of the PCT all the way through Lake Hughes and onto Lake Hughes Rd back to my car. So super cool. I was definitely excited. The lady who picked me up, she works at the Rock Inn, and she said, "Be sure to tell everybody to come to the Rock Inn." So check that place out. She was definitely a cool person, and we had good conversation, and really cool to come across people on these hikes. I love it, and I look forward to that almost as much as the trip itself. Well, that's about it. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget about the bell icon, because then you get notified when I post new videos. That being said, I'm Woodglue, and you'll see me on the trail.